Welcome, everyone, to the Onward VR Master League. I am your host, Monorchid, and I'm joined today by my co-caster, Theta.
Good evening.
We're excited to be bringing you this Error 404 versus Kai matchup in Season 11, Week 5. This should be a pretty hype match. Two very good teams. Where you got Kai, the old dogs. They've been around for quite a while. You know them, you love them. And you got Error 404, a team that came from nothing all the way up to Master, isn't it?
Yeah, they were Master, but I think the ranking algorithm bumped them down to Diamond, even though they haven't lost a game yet.
That's a pretty weird turn of events, but we can all say that they're very skilled. They've done very well for themselves. They've won a ridiculous amount of matches without a loss yet. So we're going to have to see what happens in today's game. Neither team wants to lose this one. A lot of MMR on the line. Should be pretty awesome game to see between these two teams. But let's just jump to the bans now. Theta, what do we got?
So for Error 4, excuse me, a frog in my throat there. Error 404 is banning USS Quest.
Okay.
And the away team of Kai is banning Bazaar.
So, some pretty interesting bans. I always think that when the custom map is banned, it's kind of an interesting situation. It's kind of the brand new maps on the block. A lot of these teams don't know them too well or haven't practiced them maybe, but then a lot of teams have put a lot of effort into making them their kind of map in the hole, as it were. So do you think there's any particular reasoning behind these bans?
I don't know Error 404, I should say, well enough to... Yeah, I know. For some reason it comes out like Arrow. I don't know why, but Error 404... I really don't know enough about how they play. I don't know if there's even enough information from Cass and all that to really give an educated guess. Bazaar from Kai, I'd have to look at the stats. I would assume just based on, again, the lack of information, it's more like a ban on weakness than on strength, but I'd have to really dig into the matches and see what the answer is there to come up with a more educated guess.
For sure. And for the first map, because Error 404 are home, they do get to choose the first map, and they'll also be choosing the third map. But for the first map, we actually have Suburbia. Any initial thoughts on that?
My initial thought is, I know Mono is excited about casting Suburbia.
I'm excited. I'm excited to move to the next map. Let's go.
Well, what's interesting is that Kai's been through several incarnations. These are all veteran players, but I think this crew of players has historically been very good on Suburbia, and they're going up against a newer team, and the newer teams, at least in my experience, love Suburbia. It's a really good map to learn on because there's a lane system. There's not really much confusion in terms of spawns or anything, and so I think just based on that dynamic, a lot of newer teams, they get more reps on it and they end up getting good at it just because they're playing it so much. So I think we'll see a clash here of the old school, very good at Suburbia veteran players versus kind of the maybe slightly different new approach that a lot of these rookie teams are taking to it.
I just want to take a step back. I think you bring a really valid point. We've always said that, hey, like, Suburbia is this map that a lot of teams tend to gravitate towards, the newer teams. But I think putting it to the, it's because it has that lane system. It's very similar to a lot of other first-person shooters, especially pancake first-person shooters. A lot of these players have played, a lot of the normal ones. You got, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, those kind of games, and then they put on a VR headset and they're like, holy crap, this is awesome. And then they start playing Onward and they're like, holy crap, this is really awesome. So I think that it's a good kind of stepping point. It really brings people into the experience and gives them something more comfortable with. And really allows them to just kind of ease into the more open and dynamic maps. Not that Suburbia isn't dynamic, but with its lane system, it's just a lot easier to grasp where to go, what to do, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and just like in anything else, people gravitate to things that are easier to grasp and things that they're good at. And I think that's not a coincidence when you look at the results of a lot of these rookie teams playing on Suburbia and doing so well, because this is an intimidating game, especially you play a map like Downfall or Quarantine. You got all these different spawns, you've got all these different angles to worry about. It's just an intimidating experience, and it takes a long time to get good at those maps. Whereas with the lane system and just very linear, kind of like we're always going to spawn on the same areas type of gameplay, you can just get tons and tons of reps and get really, really good at it in a much shorter period of time. So the rookie teams, they want to play the things they're going to be good at. And I think just by virtue of all those factors, they're going to be good at this map in most cases.
For sure. I definitely agree with you there. As for the teams, they are shuffling in here, so we should be getting started shortly. We got Error 404, we have Badger Zom, the captain, IC19, Cobra 11, ST Cup, It's Not Void, and for Kai, we got Dyslexic Dazzler, Phonic, Bass Slappa, and Etch, and the fifth still waiting to come on into the lobby here. I also want to give a little shout out to Bass's girlfriend there. Thanks for coming in here and viewing this. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of good moments making fun of Bass. I mean, talking about Bass's plays because he's really good at the game. Anyways, we got Semper coming in for the last player for Kai. This is a pretty good team for Suburbia. I've seen a lot of great plays from Kai on this map. It's definitely a map that I've seen them play very well. And I'm really interested in how these new kids on the block are gonna match up against them. I know he was kind of talking about some super secret strats that might work out really well for them. And I mean, they have received a lot of casts of their actual games, but they're still relatively unknown.
Yeah, and there's always this talk of like, where's the wall when you're rising up the rankings? Because as we've discussed many times before, you can play very well at the lower tiers, but then once you reach the higher tiers, it's not uncommon to see teams start to plateau. So far, Aero 404 has shown no signs of slowing down. They sliced through OJC last week, which was at the time a diamond team, and now they're facing another team in that tier. If they get through Kai, they're going to be up in the master tier. So that will be really something to behold. A truly meteoric rise for a new team.
Absolutely. And if I do say so myself, I'm pretty excited to get to play them at some point. I think it'll be a fun matchup, and I think this one is going to be a really freaking awesome matchup between these two teams. Like I said before, just so much on the line for both of them, and it would be a pleasure to take the crown on this series.
Indeed. And I have indicated to the team captain of Aero 404 that we are ready to go, so we should be launching shortly.
Should be good. We will jump to a quick intermission, guys. When they're ready to go, we'll just jump straight into the action. Stay tuned.
Deep chick, take it slow.
Yeah, I don't know my position.
Hello, everyone.
Holding it, and I'm
We are back. We are ready to see how this game shakes out. We got the lane 4 objective here. Got a quick push from the likes of Arrow 404, Cobra, and IC pushing up here, getting a nice typical positions here, trying to catch any defenders that push too far forward here. But you can see Semper here just barely peeking out. Cobra just barely misses a shot onto Semper's head there, and now Semper is probably going to keep his head down lest he loses it to the likes of Cobra. Phonic's first pickup of the round, taking up ST Cup. over at lane 1-2 area. Badger Zom's gonna have to be careful, otherwise he's gonna get taken out himself. Oh, this guy's a pretty good position here. Kind of really held in behind that barrier there and able to take out Badger Zom. In the meantime, Semper picking or downing Icy at the playground.
Yep, and now Cobra has to make a choice here because Icy's out in the middle of the playground. Not necessarily completely in the middle, but in the open enough that it's a risky peek to try and get that revive. So it looks like he's going to try to regroup with It's Not Void instead, or at least really take his time to get into the playground. I would assume Semper's coming around the corner here for a confirm.
Not sure if he actually sees that that Icy needs to be down there. Icy keeping quiet to make sure that Semper won't get a down for nothing there. Cobra picked up by Semper, doing an excellent job of bouncing around this house at lane 4, picking up those kills and keeping this side under control.
I'm hovering around. Icy just gave a call out. I don't think Semper heard it. Now he definitely heard that. So Semper gets the confirm, and it's now all up to It's Not Void.
It's going to be a pretty tough one here. 5 Kai up, and no revives available. I think I see the existential dread on his face right now. What are you thinking, buddy?
Yeah, we've both been in this situation. It does not feel nice without hearing any kill calls throughout the round. Doesn't sound like there's any trades, and you look down at your tablet, no dots. That is a terrible, terrible feeling.
Hard mode activated. Might be able to pick up Semper right here. Gets a nice shot onto him as Semper's looking around the other way. Immediately moves to reposition. A very fast smoke from him as well to get their attention. See if he can get any more pickups.
And I would assume Kai has an accurate kill count since, again, there weren't any trades, anything like that. They have to know this is the last person. It's Not Void doing a good job of playing some guerrilla warfare, but Phonic is coming into his flank right now. He might have a bad time if he doesn't catch on to that.
Yeah, it looks like it's on the way here. Don't think he'll be able to get anyone up from his current angle, and if he keeps going slow like this, Phonic will be able to come up behind him, as you said. But he's going for a cap right now. It's going to be a tough one with Etch just watching this angle like a hawk, but will he be able to do it? The answer is no. Kai will pick up their first win of the series.
Very nice.
Or
Now,
the map,
that
I
was
guess.
that was a good attempt on his part. You know, just being prone like that, that was his best chance, a 1v4 at that point. I don't know what else he's going to do. You're not clearing out the middle on your own in most cases, so good attempt there at the end.
Yeah, definitely went for the win instead of just trying to get as many kills as possible. It was a pretty quick round as well. Players were dying left and right for Error 404. Kai's defenses were just a little too strong for them to overcome. But now they'll be switching over to being Volk as the teams do switch. Each team gets a shake at the same objectives, defending it and attacking it once for each side. So both teams will be able to get a fair shake at the objective.
Yeah, not surprising to see a little bit of space between each round, too. There's a lot on the line for both teams, and it's not uncommon for teams to take extra time in the tent when there's this much on the line for a match.
For sure. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of planning on the board, a lot of thoughts going between them, some last minute adjustments maybe. This is a fun objective, though. Historically, I think it brings a lot of excitement. There's those close caps, those sneaky caps in the smoke. You got good team movement going up the lanes. I like this one a lot myself.
It also, I think, plays into really the smoke and rush meta in many ways, because you can just dump smokes in playground, rush through lane 3, and then get on the objective before anybody can really stop you unless they've reinforced that lane.
Immediate pre-fire coming from Etch, keeping their heads down and trying to stop them from getting over across towards the objective. Icy and Cobra make the harrowing journey and have made it in time. Icy able to pick up Dazzler. Phonic going down as well to a grenade from its Void in the center house. Meanwhile, Icy continuing his combat here, trying to fight off the likes of Semper shooting under the bus here. Let's just jump over to his view and see what it looks like. What a tight angle there, able to pick up Icy and the most crazy of angles under the bus here. Etch getting a nice pickup of that body there, the confirm. That was a spicy one.
Yeah, and base getting close to objective too. I mean, STF Cup is looking now, but if somebody can neutralize that angle, this could open up pretty quickly.
I'm pretty sure Badger got a kill through the hedges as well. He was just kind of pre-firing. He got the kill. He continued firing. And he still was able to get Etch there. I think he was just all the way across in maybe lane 4. Ooh, Bass, nice pickup there under the Humvee. A lot of shots under the cars this series already, and we're only in round 2.
Arrow 404, if you look at the lasers, well, as I say, that STF Cup moves, but they had a very, very tight focus on the sandbag side of the objective. Yeah, you can see it again now. Intersecting lines across that sandbag. They do not want anybody coming close to that, which is understandable. That's the one spot where if somebody gets there and you didn't get them before they got there, it's going to be ugly.
Pretty sure ST actually caught Bass as he went around the corner there and just narrowly missed him. But he knows that he's just right around the corner there. He knows that he will be able to get a pickup if he continues watching. Bass will have to be careful about double peeking that, and with Cobra's dead body behind the APC, they have pretty good coverage over the whole objective approach.
Agreed. If they decide to go for lane 4 instead because they don't want to cross that line, Cobra will be in a position to give a call out at the very least.
I like that Bass is just holding fast. He has 3 minutes and 20 seconds to work with. Allows Semper to get in a position, maybe get some fire coming from the other side of the map here. But you can see Void is pretty much aware of his position. He's looking around. He's moving slowly. He's just trying to get the angle on any of these flanks here. So, ooh, nice pickup from Void. It is now all up to Bass. Will he be able to take it? The answer is no. We're going to have a points trade between Arrow 404 and Kai in this exciting start of the series here.
This is what everybody tuned in for. We did not want to see a blowout either way. We always want the spice, and so far, that's delivering. That was a really close round. So, Arrow 404, give me the spice.
Give me the spice.
You can see Arrow 404 wants the spice to flow, playing very strong defense. Yeah, I think maybe it's going to turn into one of those situations where it's a matter of who can break through on a Marsoc round, because both of these teams demonstrating clear competence on the defensive side.
Definitely a lot on the line, and the tension starts to rise. You just keep trading those bulk rounds. Neither team able to pick up that Marsoc round, and you just know it's like, man, we got to win this one. We got to win this one, guys. Come on. It's nearing that dreaded 3-3 situation. You know, where it can go either way, and that's when you really feel that tension rise up inside.
Yep, there is nothing more stressful than a 3-3 round. I would argue, especially on match-deciding rounds, every single moment seems to pass through the course of like an hour. I mean, the time dilation is just nuts in those situations, and then all of a sudden something big happens and it's over.
I think it's especially funny when you got the 3-3, your Volk, you're defending, and then suddenly you just get capped on, and just all that tension just kind of dissipates into nothing. And you're like, what?
All that build up for this.
Ooh, we got the new objective here. The playground. This one is, I think, the spiciest one for this map. Free fire coming from Badger right now. Dazzler and Bass having to take cover, otherwise they're going to get their heads taken off. Phonics and Semper, though, moving up aggressively, trying to get in a position to maybe ambush some of Arrow 404 as they make their approach. Nice, interesting intersecting lines as well, with Dazzler kind of watching back from the sandbags. You got Phonic on the house porch and Semper just behind the tank. Really good coverage while keeping far away from the objective. Grenades often very, very helpful on this objective. You get a lot of kills with those. But with their current defensive layout, it's pretty hard to get those really explosive grenades that really swing the game.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens near middle house in particular, because I think on this objective, Volk setups that I've seen at least tend to be very compressed because it's so easy to get shot through hedges on pre-fire and all that. And people tend to rush on Marsoc as well. They are playing a slightly more aggressive defense than what I've seen so far. And we'll see if that pays off or not. STF Cup and I can't even say his name. And Dazzler. Yeah, it's
His
making
name
me
had the desired
dyslexic.
effect.
Yeah, so Dazzler and STF Cup about to face off here in lane 3. I don't know if they know that or not, but STF Cup right behind Dazzler.
Dazzler's in this interesting position that if he hears fast movement from SD Cup, he could just turn around and shoot through the hedges.
Yep.
I think we might see that right now.
Yep, there it is.
Just kills him. Whatever. Etch getting picking up Icy on his approach on lane 4. Cobra trying to get that refrag from the red car, not able to quite pick up Etch there. Meanwhile, Dazzler takes out yet another, and it's not Void. Badger Zom trying to make a move here, but Semper pushing out very aggressively, coming out, getting that pickup onto Zombie. Badger Zom, Cobra on lane 4, behind the red truck, last man up against another 5-man Kai defense.
Well, once again, asking a Marsoc player to play the role of superhero, this is never fun. And this is an objective, too, where it's pretty easy to lock down when you have a full 5 defenders. You could even lock it down with 2 or 3. Oh, Semper running out right into Cobra's position. Oh, that was quite a flank.
Just lanced him right in the face.
Yeah, just ran straight into that backyard and said, "No, this is my lawn, young man."
So watch that back real quick here. You can see Cobra, he's trying his best, but they're so pushed up. Kai is just out and about, and Semper's just like, YOLO! Right around the corner. Oh, man. Oh. So, do you have any thoughts on that round?
Well, I know that Dazzler, whose name I'm not going to try to attempt to say in full for a long, long time, because apparently it makes my brain shut down. But Dazzler had a really nice spot. I can't remember if I've seen anybody play that before, but hanging out in those hedges on lane 3, he got one coming through lane 3, and I think he was either 1 or 2. I think it was 2 looking at the kill count now. So altogether, 2 kills just from that one spot. Which really shuts down that entire front line coming in. And Kai also seemed to have, from what I remember, pretty commanding control of lane 4. And there was just nowhere to go at that point. Era 404 just had no more options. So very good defense. Again, I think we're going to see a trade of Volk rounds because both teams seem to be very, very good at defense on Suburbia.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. All along the line, both of these defenses have done a pretty good job of countering the pushes. And by killing them so early, they seem to all be fighting mostly kind of in the center of the map there. It's just a bunch of individual fights. That's kind of what it looks like to me. is that they're all in their own little world, maybe 1v1s, 2v1s, those kind of situations. And I think both of the teams are just kind of warming up and getting ready for those really strong team pushes that all come in together at once. Definitely been seeing that from the bulk rounds for sure. And here we go. Let's jump in here, round 4. Free fire waking me up from my slumber here. It's Not Void running into position. Fauna getting taken out by Cobra. Lane 4 has been neutralized. Etch running around trying to get into a nice position to get a refrag there. You might see some pre-fire from him. You can see he's trying to shoot through those fences there just a little bit. Again, this same position here, able to look under these bushes, able to catch anybody that runs by, and having excellent cover from any kind of pre-fire. Ooh, smoke coming out, or a flash coming out from above. Semper here using this time to try and push up and take out It's Not Void, but opts to instead move around. Cobra picking up Bass. It's Not Void picking up Dazzler. Semper, though, getting a nice refrag onto Cobra at White Car. Ooh, team kill coming out from Badger. That is the something you have to worry about with those hedges.
Yeah, purely accidental team kill. Also interesting that Dazzler was taken out from somebody in the position that he was holding. Wow, and Etch with an incredible pre-fire into the hedges catches It's Not Void and gets the refrag for Dazzler's death.
See that one back. Semper here, though, moving very, very close to Badger, looking through those hedges all the way down the line. Quite cheeky. Or actually not even looking through the hedges. He's actually looking through the crack. Able to get that pickup on a Semper before Semper could see him. Now leaving it up to just Etch against ST Cup and Badger Zom. It definitely could go either way at this point. Etch has the opportunity of 4 minutes to just continue moving around, using some utility to get some possible picks here. And that smoke positioning is actually excellent. Right on top of ST, you probably can't see a thing, but he also can't push out from his position as he would be very, very exposed. Both of these teams holding their breath, but calm before the storm. Etch again choosing to rotate here, not able to get any of those picks, instead opting for a different angle, not exposing himself, just doing the minimum amount before he can maybe catch a player. But it's going to be tough. These Aero 404 guys aren't moving around. They get into their position, they defend the objective, they cover the angles that are left open by the death of their teammates. Very admirable, and we're going to see if that pays off for him.
Etch also has 3 minutes to work with, and on a map like this, that's a lot of time. A 1v2 on certain maps like Downfall, Quarantine, you need as much time as you can get, but on this one, Etch can really take his time and try to figure out where these defenders are and pick them off one by one.
Yeah, he's definitely taking all the time he needs, making sure every approach is clear, making sure he just doesn't run through the open and get shot before he even gets towards the objective. You gotta wonder what the kill count's like as well for him. There was a lot of chaos. Everyone was kind of dying all together all at once. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some missing kills for both teams.
Not only that, but Badger had that team kill through the hedge, and they had no way of accounting for that. So I would assume Etch at least thinks there's 3 up.
Very well could be, but he might be able to catch his first player here. Badger just narrowly peeking out. LMG fire comes out. Etch able to pick up Badger there, bringing this to a 1v1. ST Cup here, last man standing. He does have the benefit of knowing where Etch was, but you never know. Etch could do a long rotation here. He could go around lane 4 here. He could do the straight in, which it looks like he might be opting for. There's a lot of unknowns for both of these players.
That was such a tight angle that Etch hit that shot on, especially with an LMG, which is not the most accurate weapon in the world.
If you throw smoke at It attracts a lot of players, I hear.
This is true.
Etch doing a great job here. He's using the full amount of time to his benefit here, making sure he gives the optimal chance of winning.
I want to get low here. I don't think... Yeah, I'm looking on his chest while he's spider crabbing. I don't see any utility on his vest, so he doesn't have any smokes or anything left. He's just going to have to play the angle game and hope he wins.
Looks like we might run into confrontation here as he comes around the corner. SD Cup not looking the right way. The fire comes out. Etch not able to get a pickup onto SD Cup. SD Cup able to push around. Eyes on the target, but Etch moving around here, using this time, hoping for SD Cup to come out aggressively, and Etch popping around the corner, able to pick up SD Cup, giving Kai their 3rd point.
I'm assuming that bench stopped those shots because I thought for sure that first salvo he had him. But yeah, I don't know. Did you have a closer view on that?
No, I was watching kind of from the far back. But yeah, I think that bench narrowly saved him there. But he was able to come around, get that win against all odds.
Yeah, excellent play by Etch to bring that back. A 1v2 and just methodically picked apart the last 2 defenders. He caught Badger through an incredibly narrow angle from the tank and then came around to lane 4 and picked off STF Cup. Just an excellent deduction of the most likely positions for these defenders to be in.
Definitely get a pat on the back when he gets back in the tent there. It's always exciting when you win the round from the jaws of defeat. Moving on, though, we got the harrowing center house objective. What a last round, or possible last round, objective for Kai.
And this used to be an objective which was extremely hard to breach, but now with these larger windows and no window frames, it's a lot easier to get utility into the house, making it a much harder objective to defend. But as we've seen, both of these teams are good at defense. Aero 404 didn't win that last Volk round, but it was very close. They had a 2v1 advantage. So Kai going into this in the best possible position for the map point. Obviously, you'd like a slightly less volatile objective if you could, but you don't really get to choose that. So if you're going to play the match point or map point on this objective, you want to be defense if possible.
For sure. And even with a cat from Aero 404, they'd still have one more chance. So Kai's probably feeling pretty good at this time. Aero 404 knows that they're going to have to be on their A game to pull this one back. Like you were saying, though, I think it's going to be all in the utility. How are they going to use those grenades? How are they going to use those flashbangs? Maybe we might see some smokes through the window in a nice breach from the likes of Aero 404. We'll just have to wait and see, and the match is about to start.
Howdy. We've been in these 1v3 situations plenty of times. Let's just win it again. Let's go.
Let's just win. That's a good winning strategy. I agree with there.
The best winning strategy.
Good good banter coming from both of these players, knowing not or telling each other not to push up too aggressively here. Get those picks first. Some pre-fire coming from Icy. Not able to get anyone. Phonic, though, picking up Badger all the way in the backside of lane 1 there. Phonics really likes this position, though. It's like the second time he's been here. Utility coming out from him. Flash going out on top of the building. Not able to pick up Icy here. Icy coming around the corner there. Looks high at Etch, but Phonic able to get that pick right in front of him.
And now it's basically lane 2 and lane 4 and to the left. All 5 defenders up. There is a little bit of an emphasis on lane 1-2 for those outside, but 3 stacked in the house. This is a tall order for Marsoc right now. It's not going to be easy.
These close-up, almost knife fight objectives, though, can be very, very volatile, and we can see a win from a team that's numerically down just through, you know, chaos, well-executed team pushes, utility. There is plenty of opportunity for Arrow 404 to take this one back. Won't count them out.
Certainly.
They got the full time, or full 4-minute timer left to play with here. And honestly, a couple pick opportunities here. Some, you know, grenades over the hedges here. Shots through the hedges could all be very powerful.
And Error 404 is doing the right thing, too. They are not throwing in the towel. They're taking their time. They're clearing angles, checking their tablets, making sure everybody is coordinating, which is what you need to do anytime you've got a deficit in terms of players.
South side.
I'm not sure if STF Cup was shooting at anybody in particular or if he's just drawing attention, but Phonic rotates off of that sound.
He actually got a call out from Etch calling for some help there, calling out the position of ST Cups, giving Phonics that little heads up that might let him win this trade. But it looks like ST Cup's going to come around the corner here, get into contact with Semper, able to take him out before he pushes onto It's Not Void. Nice work from Arrow 404 here, picking apart these outside defenders before they breach the house.
That was a pretty risky move by Semper to go and try and hunt down, and I think Error 404 was sort of waiting for that because they had surrounded him, and he had basically no chance in that situation. He had 3 players all around him. And that is the risk you take when you decide to run a flank.
Absolutely. Ooh, Phonic able to pick up ST Cup there, just getting a little bit peaky. Smoke's coming out here right beside the center house here, giving a nice little distraction, giving Cobra and Not Void the chance to push up, maybe go through the garage area and do a 2-man push. Might be able to overwhelm Dazzler, and with that, they'd be in a great position. They just have to keep their wits about them, deal with Phonic, and then they will just have to... ooh, nice shot from Cobra, picking up Phonics there. Excellent work. Excellent shot from Cobra.
Now, if they can just take care of Dazzler in the lower story, this will open up a lot of opportunity. And Cobra checking exactly where he is, but Dazzler, I think, hurt him. Oh, and a trade.
What a crazy trade.
No kidding.
Now Bass and Etch are going to have to pull this one back. It's Not Void, last man up, but able to use only a minute 30 left, and just try and get a pick through the window here. Etch still doing a little bit of some peeking through those windows. There's definitely an opportunity for him. We'll have to see how this one shakes out.
This is never a good feeling. This is potentially map point, and 1v2 on an objective like this where the defenders can just kind of clinch in. Although he does, I'm looking at his vest right now, he has a smoke. He could potentially throw that in there, get a little bit of a distraction, give himself some cover, and rush in and hope that he gets both of them.
Whatever he's going to do, he better do it quick. Only 45 seconds left. Going to take some time to deploy that smoke and get in position to use it. He probably thinks Dazzler's still alive too. Smoke coming through the bottom of the stairs here. Bass just throwing down some pre-fire. It's Not Void getting some idea of their position, trying to shoot up towards him, not able to quite get him. 22 seconds left. He now breaches. He takes out Etch. Now he's in combat with Bass. Will he be able to take him out? Batch not quite sure where to look, where he could be. It's Not Void popping out, able to get that pickup. Arrow 4-4 getting the point they need to stay in the game.
What
excellent
a clutch.
Play. Wow.
Just so clutch there. Now they get to play defense and potentially tie it up. But man, he was down to, I think, 15 seconds when that ended. That was at the wire, 1v2 in middle house. Just fantastic play by It's Not Void.
He better have gotten the biggest cheer once he went back to the tent. That's all I gotta say. That was epic.
No kidding. No kidding.
I mean, even when you're down a lot, that's what I was saying. These like really CQB style objectives where they're stuck. There's a couple different ways to come in, and you have that opportunity to come around the corner, get a pick, and then drop back into cover, come from a different angle, try a different approach. It's never over. Yeah, you just got to keep playing. You just got to keep hoping that you got enough picks, got to the right positions, you have the right utility, and just do your best. And your best might just get you another point and keep you in this map.
Yep, and it's in those moments when the pressure's on, it's a casted match. Everybody's wondering if you've got what it takes to play with the big dogs, and you make a play like that. That's a huge psychological boost for that entire team. And that may just be what they need to gather the momentum to come back on this map and potentially close it out.
For sure, and now that they've gotten through that harrowing defense, they will now get to do it themselves. Defend this center house, defend it for their points. Can they do it?
For the honor of their points.
For the honor. I will not fail you. Let's see how they go, what they do. Pretty strong push into lane 4 here. Etch coming out with some pre-fire here. Bass and Semper moving up aggressively. Semper able to just narrowly miss the, or get the, narrowly miss the shots from Cobra. We got some utility coming out. Frag coming out, trying to pick up Semper under that car. Able to get a nice grenade pickup. Etch should be able to get this revive, but nonetheless, taking out that threat at least for now. Now currently at a standoff, both players trying to get the upper hand. Etch now rotating off, not willing to get that revive. Bonix and Dazzler in lane 3 or lane 1 and 2, just trying to get in position, support their team as they push up. Cobra in a possibly terrible position if they come around the corner there. Bass able to get that pickup, but he was able to confirm Semper, so he has that in his favor. Etch looting the body. Maybe get some needed utilities here. Definitely very, very helpful in this objective. Flash coming out from Etch onto the playground area. Nobody's there though. Bonix and Dazzler though in this time have been moving up onto center house here. They are now ready for a breach. Just trying to kind of clear it out and wait for the rest of the team to get in position to support this push.
I think the most precarious position here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was hoping for a frag from Dazzler there. 3 members of the defense upstairs, but a smoke does come through the window, and with it blinding, it's going to be really effective.
Yeah, smokes just add a whole new dimension of difficulty on this objective because, like you said, they blind. Oh, an STF cup down in the spawn house lawn. That means their lane 4 coverage is now completely out. Icy's looking out a bit from the spawn house, but that's a dangerous position. So now the encirclement can begin.
This is definitely a tough situation. The tension's high. I don't think they want to be capped on. That's what I'm gathering from this defensive setup. Flash coming out. Probably 2 out of the 3 players flashed here. It's Not Void trading with Phonix. The revive could come out, but he's going to have to move quickly. Pickup comes out from Dazzler here. Nice refrag from him. What a tight angle Dazzler's holding here. Icy with a peek out the window, able to pick up Etch there, silencing the sound of that M249. Flash coming out through the back there, not able to pick up anyone. Tough situation here. Dazzler in position, just waiting for Bass to get to a nice supporting line. Maybe some shots to the window, maybe just try for a double man push up the door. Dazzler coming around the corner here, now in the living room, just trying to get a nice angle here, but Badger Zom just narrowly missing his movement across the entryway there. Able to stay alive, but it's getting dicey with Bass moving up, able to support this push. Place your bets, folks. Who's gonna win this exchange?
It's a tough situation for both sides. No real clear winners here. Defense has a little bit of an advantage just because they can shoot first as they're coming up, but a well-executed run up the stairs can be hard to stop.
Badger picking up Dazzler. Bass coming up aggressive, able to pick up Badger Zom and
Wow.
pick up Icy for the first map win. Dang.
What a move. Yeah, Bass just threw a flash up there, and there was not much they could do about it. He just ran up and shot them.
Nice shot from Badger, though, if he was flashed. So. There we go. Had to find the button there. What an explosive start for these two teams. I think this is a map that both of these teams do enjoy playing. I put a lot of time into perfecting, and we saw some really awesome play from both of them. I really like that center house objective. Very explosive ending for both of them, and I don't know, it's those really tight objectives and a map that, you know, ends up not being as tight. I like to think of North Stair on Subway. I like to think of that objective. The objective in Snow Peak in the kind of cargo area in the northeast. They allow for these really interesting and fun gameplay endings where both teams down to the wire, just a few members left, and able to pick it up through excellent teamwork and utility usage.
Indeed, and these last two rounds that we just saw both ended with a 1v2 clutch. And that is exactly the kind of entertainment I know everybody is tuning in to watch, and it's such a pleasure to cast maps like that. And now we get a real treat, which is Subway.
The best map. I mean, an excellent medium range to short combat style map.
Multi-dimensional, multi-level. It's incredible.
Multi-level. It's 4D.
For all those big brains that want to play 12D chess with the other team.
12D chess.
And it's also just objectively the best objective.
It's the best objective of all time.
Which is North Stairs. in case
It's
anybody
North
didn't-
Stairs. It's North Stairs.
Yeah, I think North Stairs just does things to your mind when you play it. It's just fantastic.
I love North Stairs. I miss you. It feels like it's been ages since I've got to play it. But that's okay. We're going to live through these two teams, Kai, Error 404, and see how they choose to attack this objective. I think it's just an interesting one. You often see the flashy North Stair pushes, but you also have the opportunity to do strong South pushes to take control of the second level area of Subway, and just push across and bully the enemy team. Once they get stuck defending the objective up close, you usually have at least 2, usually 3 members there. They can't really do anything about you pushing up through the second area and challenging them on the long range.
And I think Era 404, unlike a lot of rookie teams, is showing a ton of discipline, and they are clearly trying to encircle the enemy, which, not that I'm biased or anything, I personally think is one of the better ways to play this game. And I think we will likely see something like that on this. Although now that I've said that, we're probably going to see a 5-person push in one direction.
Yeah, what's your bet? What way are Kai going to attack this objective, the main push?
I would say they're going to go south.
South?
Yeah, that's going to be my bet, which means they're going north,
Okay.
naturally.
All right. You know what I have to vote? I think I'm going to lose, though. I think I'm going to lose.
Well, it's a little mixed. Let's just put it that way so far.
3-man going north. If they go 3 down the alley, I win. I think I've lost. Utility already coming out. We have flashbangs coming over the wall, but Kai choosing to go for a more cautious attack here, instead opting to just let them use that utility, let them get that all out, and then come around the corner here. 2 members on the stairs from Arrow 404, putting a lot of guns ready to face any Kai player that comes around this corner.
Yeah, interesting setup by Arrow 404 too. They have 2 on the northernmost rail, and then 3 are either on the north stairs or on objective. I would be a little concerned about crossfire on that northernmost rail personally, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Dazzler getting really, really peaky there.
Yeah, that was
Just
quite a
tempting him.
dangerous. Yeah, that shoulder peak just trying to draw
There
fire.
are some guys on the stairs here, some schmucks.
There's some schmucks on the stairs. Flash coming out, able to grab Cobra, giving them the opportunity to push forward, take control of these north stairs. Icy, though, nice pickup, able to get the confirm there. Dazzler and Cobra trading, but Icy will be able to get that revive, and just like that, Kai's down to 3. Can hear some battle commands coming from Void, sitting there prone in the corner, just giving those callouts to his team, keeping them steady, keeping them watching their angles and not getting too aggressive.
Now the main thrust is coming through the south, and Bass, I don't know what to say. We'll just say Bass Slappa coming through the horseshoe. He is watching behind him a lot. I think he is expecting some kind of flank now that north is down. But Error 404 staying in place so far.
Unfortunate for Kai, that attack was just a little disjointed. South team wasn't in position to really support, or kind of just waiting maybe for those pickups that you might get once they rotate back to objective, but they won't be coming with the north push down. Pretty typical defense from the likes of Arrow 404, ST and Badger in opposite lanes. These train tracks, able to support one another and force a player to choose which side to look down and get shot in the back by the other. Icy and Not Void sitting on objective with Cobra getting a little antsy there, coming around North Stair, maybe going for a flank. Let's see what he's able to do here, as it looks like he's going to fully commit to this push.
That smoke from Phonic, not quite where he wanted it to go. I imagine he wanted to put it in the tunnel itself, and instead it ends up on the platform just north of the rail.
This Kai push is going to have to come soon. 2 minutes left on the clock, and a flanking player coming around the backside. Could go badly for them if they don't get the push on.
Cobra going through the basement. The only
Anybody
problem here.
down here?
The only. Hey guys. Uh,
They took a
anyone in
wrong
this?
turn somewhere.
Anyone know where the bathroom is? Uh, but the downside of that kind of flank is if they manage to clear these last players on objective, he is going to be way too far to stop a cap.
Yeah, he's really got to move up. Badger able to pick up Phonic there. Etch trying to get the refrag there, not quite able to. Badger picking up both Etch and Bass.
Dang.
Well
just,
then.
Just dove down into that rail and Badger took them out. But
What a play there.
Yeah, I think that was some bad timing and some very good defensive movement on the part of Badger. He just ducked into that corner, and they were not hitting him. And as they came around the corner, he took him out. So, yeah, nice defense by Error 404 on that.
It feels good when you get 3 kills with 1 magazine. Unless you're an LMG player. Those people don't count.
How dare you? Actually, one of my favorite moments on Subway was as an LMG player on that exact spot Badger was in. And I got a triple kill. It was pretty sweet.
Well, it looks like rifles can do the same things, Theta. Maybe you shouldn't discriminate.
But then you have to reload. That's the problem.
Do you gotta reload if you win the match? I don't think so.
Anyway, let's see how these up-and-coming rookies on Error 404 decide to attack this. What's your bet on this one?
I think they were at 44.
I think Kai's
Okay.
gonna win.
Oh, Dazzler with a triple on the knife. Oh, but he's too far. Oh, with the ace. With the ace.
Last
But he didn't
minute
get-
ace from him.
But the ace was predicated on 2 gunshots.
Does that really count?
You know, you've got to shoot yourself, so there's got to be 1 gunshot in there for the full ace, but
But the
a little
2?
disappointed. Yeah, he had to shoot somebody across the platform to finish off the team. That's yeah, it's all right. It's all right, but I would expect
think
more
so?
from Dazzler.
You know, for me, if you throw your knife and then simulate the knife throw being deadly by shooting them afterward, I can get it behind that. But just up and shooting him, that's just uncalled for, and I just can't.
It is a little unsportsmanlike, I have to admit.
A little, I don't know,
A
man.
little uncouth.
Absolutely, it's very thuggery, if you ask me.
Now, it looks like the reset was based on Cobra dropping, from what I can tell. But he is back in the lobby now.
We'll see how this one shakes out. Kai on the back foot here. Will Error 44 be able to ride this momentum to victory in map 2? We'll see.
You bastard.
Oops, not round 3. round 2. We got this. See Dazzler pushing up, getting on the stairs here, ready to stop any kind of aggressive north push. Etch on the backside, ready to support Dazzler in case he gets utilitied or taken out himself. Strong push coming from It's Not Void, ST Cup, and Icy. Flash coming over the top, but not quite able to make it, but they don't know that. ST Cup coming around the corner here. Dazzler not quite able to see him just yet.
I don't see any.
Wow, how did Dazzler not see STF Cup right there?
I don't know. ST Cup rushing forward, trying to support this push, able to get that pickup onto Dazzler. Etch is going to have to do something about this. He's in a quite dangerous position here, able to just pull around the corner, just narrowly get missed. And now Etch is going to have to do his best to hold back this this push from these 3 players. Utility coming out, not able to pick up anybody. Nice frag ready to come in. Suppressive fire coming from the LMG. But SD Cup is in a strong position to stop any of this type of play here. Etch might just get his head taken off if he continues this push, but very smart, comes around the corner and gets into a defensive position.
Now Cobra and Badger are both starting to work their way up from the basement stairs. It looks like Badger is about to get surprised by Phonic on one of the northern rails. I think
Onyx
Phonic heard
position.
him. Yeah, that's
what
brutal.
a cheeky position.
That is brutal. But I think he heard those footsteps. Yep, there it is.
Nice pickup from him. He's going to have to worry about Cobra, though, as he continues to come around the corner here. Nice and slow, maybe be able to get that pickup. Semper in a position to support him on this newsstand. Etch just sitting pretty behind this red smoke, doing his best to keep back the likes of ST Cup and Not Void. Ooh. ST Cup narrowly missing Etch, the smoke keeping him back. Fire coming out, the PKM putting some shots on. Just needs to put a few more, we'll be able to pick up ST Cup. And there we go, ST Cup going down to the legs of Bass all the way at the far end there. Cobra picking up Phonic. Now Semper is going to have to defend this angle all by himself there. It's not Void though. In a position just waiting for Cobra to come forward. With a little bit of teamwork, they could still win this one. Not to mention a good pickup.
Well, this is one of those objectives which is, you know, if you have 2 up, you can defend it. If you have 1 up, it becomes much, much more challenging.
The thing about this objective, though, is with 2 up, you should be very aware of where the defenders could be. There's only a very few spots that you can watch both of these angles from, and that 2 players generally are going to take. Semper's position, though, pretty unorthodox, and it might just play in his favor here.
It's not Void decides to abandon the north stairs. And I would imagine he's going to either come give a complimentary angle to Cobra or team up with him. Looks like he's going through the horseshoe now.
These last minute adjustments can make the make or break an attack. You can see here Cobra checking his tablet, making sure that his buddy is coming in fast. Only 1:55 left on the clock here. Not much time to work with, but maybe just enough.
There's always a tense moment. Last 2 on objective. I don't know how much of a kill count Kai has, but the attack stopped in north, so you have to, just in your head as a defender, your first thought has to be they're rotating around to the south somewhere.
Only 2 ways to come in.
Yep.
You see Semper is on high alert. He's just looking over this newsstand, over the side of it, looking for any of those little sneaky Marsoc heads coming around the corner, and they're gonna have to come soon. 50 seconds left. Cobra and Not Void making their push forward here, but are they gonna leave enough times for this push?
I don't know. And Semper's in a really good spot. Oh, he's modifying his spot as I say that. Oh,
Gets 1 pickup, but gets taken out by the likes of Cobra. Bass is definitely aware of the last position there. We'll have to see who comes out on top here. 25 seconds left on the clock. Bass in a great position to pick up Cobra, and he does, giving Kai another point on the board, bringing this to a 1-1.
yeah, that's a tough position to be in as an offensive player because 30 seconds left. Like you said, there's really only 2 ways in. They'd already used up one of those ways, so he's just got to charge and hope he can find somebody on objective, and I think Base just raised his gun before he did.
I really like that rotation that Bass did there. He knew where that player was. He knew that he was going to be pushing in there, and that there was still enough time on the clock for a cap. So he did his best to get into a position to get the drop on that push coming in, and through that quick reflex is able to get that pick and continue forward, giving them a point. Is it just me though, by the way? This next objective seems to always get played now. Every single time.
We are seeing it an unusual number of times lately. I don't know what is with that. Maybe the game senses that there's caster slots that are activated and says, nope, we're highlighting the new objectives, whether you like it or not.
It feels that way. I like this objective though. It's had some really fun combat. You normally don't have too much going along in these alleys. Maybe a quick beak here and there, but when you have to fight in them, you find all these new interesting spots that you've never seen before.
Sure. Yeah, I enjoy playing it too. I think the new objective on this map is pretty sweet.
Just like the trash on the ground next to this garbage can.
Exactly. Alright, they did not get the quick spawn this time, so they're starting on the mid platform.
Cobra. Oh, Cobra. Getting spicy. Coming downstairs. Trying to get an early pick from onto Kai.
Yeah,
Looks
the
like
only
the
problem. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Looks like most of Arrow 404 opting to choose fairly standard defensive positions. We got two players though in Cobra and Badger in really forward, aggressive defensive positions. I can tell you from my from playing on this objective, this opening from North Alley going into Chinatown, very, very scary. An aggressive player can get into these positions where they can just get those quick pickups before you even know what's happening. So definitely understand the hesitation from Kai here as they come around the corner, making sure they do it in a very controlled and safe way.
Either approach puts you in a position where you're going to end up in neutral angles with somebody, which is what's so scary about it, especially if you run up to that alley leading up to the horseshoe. There's just a long straightaway where somebody can confront you and pop out of a corner. And then on the south alleyway, Badger in an extraordinarily aggressive position.
I know, right?
I just noticed that. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen somebody play right there. But maybe it'll work out. Nope. As I say that, it does not. But yeah, that's the other problem is that you've got this long straightaway where you're just facing each other, and then you get to this tiny little corner with not very much space.
It's gonna
What a
cost them.
revive.
Though. They didn't get that confirm, and it's gonna cost them. Now they're gonna have to take out Badger yet again.
And that will potentially mess up their kill count.
Oh,
two
just got
down.
it. ST picking up 2 with that C4. Oh my, a team kill too.
Well, Itch is going to come around and get both of these revives. So that'll even things out.
No. Perfect C4, not able to get those confirms. So many revives happening. Oh man, feels bad for ST Cut.
Clear trash can, clear trash can.
And the only death on the Kai side from a team kill.
No. It was looking so good. This really strong tucked position we see ST in, very common. A lot of pre-fire, not letting him have any chance to pop out and get any kills. He is now just gonna have to hold steady, but he pulls out. Dazzler able to get that pickup. Meanwhile, Icy takes out Semper as they approach up the stairs here. Not quite able to get that one. Icy going down to the likes of Dazzler.
And Cobra rushing back to objective, realizing it's just him and it's not Void, which is a good decision at this point.
I like this position from him, sitting prone, being mostly covered, and
Wow.
getting the double. Oh boy. Let's watch that one back up. But in the meantime, we got spicy action coming live. Cobra going down the stairs here as Etch is right around the corner. Maybe just hiding, waiting for that flash to come out so he can not get flash and then come around the corner and get that pick onto Etch. A lot going on here. Both of these players trying their best to not make the wrong move.
But he's got a good position for watching that alleyway. If Etch rotates, though, I don't think he's going to. I think he's just going to... maybe he's changing his mind. Yeah, he's running around to the opposite side, which means Cobra will not have visibility.
Yeah, you can see Cobra here throwing some utility up, trying to just catch any sneaky movement into that smoke. Now he's checking around this corner here, trying to go low, stay out of view of Etch, but if he takes too long, Etch will be able to come around this corner and get that pick. Oh my. Now see Cobra has realized that his side was exposed and he has to watch every possible angle here. Does catch a view of Etch's shoulder here, and Etch trying to pull back but realizing he just doesn't have time for it. He's just gonna have to push forward, use what he has, and continue to push towards the objective here and just trying to win on kills.
Yeah, Etch apparently doesn't have night vision on right now either, so he is not going to be able to see Cobra when he sticks out. 24 seconds.
He's currently going through the rounds, but he does, and he wins, and he takes out Cobra, giving Kai another point.
Yeah, and Etch laughs about that. I know that feeling well. That tension gets released, and you just feel like you're going to be on cloud 9 for the next 30 hours. But, yeah, this is... I will say one thing, like, no matter what happens on the score, even if Error 404 drops this round, or this map, I should say, they are really hanging with a top-level team. These are coming down to 1v1s and 1v2s on almost every round, and that is impressive by itself.
Definitely is, Theta. It's been a really exciting match, and that round, for me, was the most exciting. We got the double Z4, we got the double kill. You know, when they were lined up there coming around the corner, we had some really aggressive combat coming into the back alleys. There's just so much going on, and that's what we live for here in the VRML. So we like to see these really fun exchanges between these two teams giving it their all. So good job to them. It's good content. Yeah. I'm excited to see what Error 404 can bring on Marsoc for this objective now.
Yeah, I think so far what I've enjoyed the most about this is just how disciplined Error 404 is. I think a lot of teams that start out and do well, they get far just because they do very high variance, ultra aggressive stuff, but Error 404 is hanging with Kai by playing pretty smart, and then in many ways it's just, you know, the RNG of the game, so to speak, not going their way. So I would not be shocked to see them continuing to play that way, and just, yeah, you can hear a pep talk coming out from Arrow 404 right now. They are for sure locked in psychologically, and that is fantastic to see.
We are not losing to these guys. Not here, not now.
Oh, they're so cute. Whoa. Some pre-fire coming a little too early for Phonic here, but Dazzler able to get into position. It's not Void, picked up from Etch. Now Cobra and Badger's Arm are going to have to worry about an aggressive push out. Smoke coming from Etch, though, really tying down this line. He now picks up Cobra. Now Badger's Arm going to have to hold on here against the like of Etch, who is now pulling around the corner. What an aggressive line. Flash coming right onto Etch's position, but looks like it was just short. I think Etch really is on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah, he's got that adrenaline going for sure. He gets another one. That brings it down to a 5v2.
What is going on right now? It's just so aggressive.
Etch
Some more
is just
smokes
going
coming
off.
from the likes of Icy. Utility coming out from Etch, Flash coming around up top, but probably not picking up any. Well, actually, it looks like it picked up Icy, but SD Cup looks like he's ready for any kind of aggressive push from Etch, but he's now just using this opportunity to reposition and keep SD Cup and Icy wondering where he could possibly be. But I think making the wise choice, they opt to reposition, come from a different angle, and try something else, because apparently Etch is just on fire.
Etch having a highlight reel round for sure. And Icy decides to challenge him again. Going back to the same alleyway. STF Cup, however, breaking off and going to the opposite side, which is the best move at this point. Icy focused like a laser on Etch's previous position, which will work in Etch's favor if he continues down this line.
They're getting mighty close here. Neither player quite aware of what's happening here. Icy trying to clear all these corners. Who will come out on top? It looks like it'll be Icy with a nice headshot right onto Etch.
STF Cup about to walk into intersecting lines between Phonic and Dazzler.
Oh
Wow.
my.
I don't know how that happened, but that was an
He
excellent
smoked.
play.
Yeah, he used smoke and flash. Double flash is coming onto SD Cup. He is definitely flash. SD Cup, though, just holding steady. Phonic able to get that pickup, though.
One more down. I got trash can.
Trash can is down.
Very nice play by Phonic with the double flash to ensure he had enough time to rush over to the trash can and shoot without having to worry about any kind of fire in return. Now, Icy has to face off against 3 defenders. He has plenty of time, though. 2 minutes and 50 seconds this close to objective. He can play around a little bit. He does not have to rush.
Whew. What a crazy, crazy set of rounds.
No kidding.
As he just trots on up to this corner, we'll have to see how he handles Bass, who's in this really, really tough to deal with placement behind this garbage can. Having his gun sideways, he's barely visible to the likes of Icy, but being prone might be able to get past his view. Oh my.
What a move to go prone like that. It was just below the laser.
Beautiful play from Icy there. Able to pick up Bass and then move to a rotation. Keep them guessing where you're going to come from next. In fact, it looks like he's going for the south push.
Oh, and this is what I meant by they were psychologically locked in. This is a player on a rookie team who is not giving up. He didn't just rush out to get shot. He's saying, no, I'm going to find a new angle. I'm going to keep playing this. I'm going to play to win. Just love to see that from these new teams.
I'm so excited.
And Semper is not looking down the south stairs.
Who
He could
would
potentially
go
be
south
crept on.
stairs? Who would go
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
Icy, that's who.
Whose stairs are these? Icy stairs.
Oh. Kind of looks like Semper was thinking about it, but he's not going to do it. This is an excellent position for Icy. Come down to Semper, sees him, able to call it in, making sure that his team is aware of it. Now coming to a nice position to get an ambush on the Icy. Shots coming around, and Semper able to pick it up, giving Kai 3 points on the board.
What a tense round. Yeah, again, like these guys, they're hanging. Like the score line, not necessarily showing it, but wow, some close rounds. I know everybody that is watching this is so glad they tuned in, because this is the kind of spice that we all want to see on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Close enough.
Might as well be Friday. This is crazy. I'm loving it. Speaking of crazy, Theta, what objective do we have next?
Oh boy, Chinatown, which is another one of those objectives where it's like, oh, it's a cast. It must be Chinatown time.
I haven't seen you, Chinatown. Where have you been?
You come here often, Chinatown?
This is a fun one. I just love how many varied objectives there are on Subway. It's just such a fun map to play. Let me play it, please. Might have to pop into Onward and do a few rounds after this one.
No kidding.
That said, Air 404 gonna have to clutch this one. Kai is 1 point away from taking the series. They are playing defense though. It's I think this is a fairly good one for defense. It could definitely go either way. Do you have any thoughts on the defensive to offensive balance?
I would argue this is, as long as you have at least like 2 up, you can defend this fairly well, but where this gets really dicey is the 1 up defense, because there are multiple angles to cap from. If you have 2, you can cover the most important angles.
All right, so we got 2 going very aggressively down North Stair. 1 player acting as that reserve. Cobra and Badger pulling intersecting lines, hoping to catch the offense as they come down this long straightaway with nowhere to go. You can see Cobra here motioning to Badger that there are enemies, in fact, in the alleyway here. Badger getting in position to try and challenge this push. Cobra just barely low enough to miss those shots from Dazzler, probably a pre-fire. And if he's not careful, he's gonna be or gonna have to deal with the intersecting lines from the likes of Badger. Dazzler and Badger. Nice shot from Badger. Look at this spot that he's in. I have never seen this. Dazzler's talking to him as he dies. Oh, that was too good. Icy going for the rotation here, getting very aggressive on the defense, maybe trying to come up and behind the likes of Semper, Etch, or Phonics.
If he hurries up, it might work, but now everybody's clearing out of the south.
You'll get there eventually. What an interesting defense. You can see Phonics here using his expert grenade throws, getting it right behind the boxes there. Definitely clearing that angle. Definitely still worried about it for some reason though, even though his grenade was spot on. No rotation from Cobra or Badger, even as this push looks like it's about to come to fruition here. Ooh. Nice trade coming out. Cobra coming around the corner here. Etch not able to deal with it. Getting taken out by the likes of Cobra. ST picking up Semper on the push on the other side. All happening at the same time here. Kai trying to work together to attack this objective, but just not able to push past this Air 404 defense.
Let's go. It's not over yet.
Dang. And Icy just came up like 20 seconds ago from the south stairs. Just, you know, he was hoping to catch somebody, but by the time he got up there, it was down to I think 1v4. So no dice on the flank for Icy.
You got to play this kind of mind game of how aggressive am I going to do these flanks? If you go too fast, you could just get shot by a Marsoc team that's looking for those flanks. If you go too slow, though, you won't be able to be pertinent to the objective whatsoever, as we saw there. As Icy just coming up a little bit short there before he could get to the objective, as that push already came out from Kai. Now Aero 4-4 though, just coming off their win, will have to continue this momentum if they're going to stay in the game. They're going to have to attack the Chinatown objective, see if they can continue winning and bring this to a 1-1 on the map scoreline. A lot of good score lines coming from these teams as well.
I just got a call from one of the captains that they are calling a timeout. So
Alrighty,
may
we'll jump to a
need
quick
to drop an
intermission,
intermission.
guys. We'll be back when they're ready to play. Do stay tuned and see how this objective shakes out. Maybe?
Never mind. I guess we don't have a timeout.
I think. No, we do. It looks like we do.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right, we're going to jump to that intermission. We'll see you guys soon.
VRware. Our passion is for the
Oh, hello everybody. Tried to bring up the highlight reel for you folks, but that didn't work out. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Too bad though, because we had some really spicy highlights I wanted to show back. Too bad though. Maybe we'll see it in some clips later.
Maybe some explosions. It was pretty
You know.
exciting. You guys don't get to watch it though. Sorry.
No, none of you guys. You're not. We'll just jump back into intermission, guys. Do stay tuned. Shouldn't be too much longer on this timeout, but we'll be back soon. All right, welcome back everybody. We're jumping into the action as promised. See who can come out on top here in this nail-biting game between Kai and Arrow 404. A lot on the line here. Kai could come out ahead in this series, and Arrow 404 is going to have to do everything they can to stop the momentum of Kai picking up map 2. Definitely could go either way though.
Already seeing quite a bit of aggression in the south. 4 members of Error 404 are going south. And who is this? Icy? Icy is just hanging out on the north rail mid-platform. I'm assuming
Semper.
waiting for some... Oh, sorry.
Semper behind this garbage can here, hearing all this movement but not popping up. He looks like he has some kind of utility in his hand, just waiting in this corner. SD Cup and Not Void very concerned though of his position.
So as we're pushing up, I'll be watching that, and you watch the corner. I'll switch sides. You watch.
They're just sitting here head to head thinking about the situation. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
Did they see him go in there?
I don't think so. I'm not sure, honestly. But what are you gonna go? When are you gonna go? Does he have C4? Oh no! Flash comes out. What is Semper doing? I'm so confused. SD Cup picks him up through the crack in the garbage can here. Now it's just like that. It's up to Phonics to defend this alley. Meanwhile, Etch choosing to pull back here, get a bit of a closer position to the objective, considering that Semper did go down.
Right side behind that dumpster.
Keep your eye on
Oh boy. SDF Cup and It's Not Void stacked right on top of each other. If somebody popped that corner, they would both be dead. Now starting to move a little bit.
Cobra exchanging fire with somebody. Not sure who. Jump back to this possible engagement between Phonics and Not Void. Everyone just holding their lines though. SD Cup cautiously moving forward, maybe checking for some C4. And speaking of C4, we've been seeing this position quite a lot lately under this little awning. In a great position to pick up ST Cup. Not sure if he will be able to do that though, considering how slow ST Cup is going, keeping his sound signature low. Cobra and Badger Zom though continue their push from the back alley here. ST Cup able to pick up Dazzler and a nice shot here, but Phonics still not opting to blow that C4. Smoke coming out. I wonder what he's waiting for. That's what he's waiting for. And there we go. He gets the double. Flash comes out on him, but it won't be enough. They don't have enough time for that rotation before he will get on Flash and able to pick those kills up. And there we go. Oh, my replays are totally broke, guys. No more. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. It just looked like it. Don't listen to me. I'm just the caster.
Good strategy.
All right, here Cobra and Badger Zom in a tense position here. Which player is going to
saw that? Oh, wow.
What a shot from Cobra coming around the corner. They're able to get Etch. Now, will he continue this push and deal with the likes of Bass? Or will Phonics maybe come around the side here and get a nice support? It almost looks like Phonic is going for some kind of rotation. But it looks like he's going to stay steady in his position here. This is Era 404's chance to cut the defense in half using that green smoke that unfortunately just pulled out or went out. And now Phonics should be able to help any push that happens on a Bass if it gets a little bit too aggressive there, and with a little bit of rotation from him.
Icy's been spider crabbing his way across the map to the north side, now making his approach prone in the north alleyway. I don't think anybody's expecting this right now.
Badger exchanging fire with Phonics. Bass coming around the corner here, getting a little aggressive. Cobra looks like he might be aware of his position, though. Neither player able to get the upper hand just yet. Ooh, nice. Bass comes around the corner, able to pick up Cobra there. Cobra almost able to respond in kind, but not in time. Meanwhile, as you said, Icy continues his slow push up the north alley. Only 50 seconds on the clock, though. He's going to have to get up and do something. Maybe cap?
Yeah, Base has a strong line. The thing is that those boxes are in front of his line. So Icy may be able to get to a point where he can cap. This is going to be much harder now. Phonic is alive. Oh, there it is. They spotted him.
But Icy able to pull back just in time. Able to get the shot on the Bass from the prone position. Phonic coming around the corner here. Either player could come out ahead here. Phonics getting a little bit cautious, knowing that he has the defensive advantage. He will win on time if Icy continues to hold. Flash coming around from Icy. He's going for the aggressive capping play here, using that. Oh my gosh, he gets it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a play.
What? What a play. What a play. He doesn't
Right.
go for the guaranteed win of the kill. He goes for the cap, bringing Arrow 404 back on the board, bringing this to a 1-1. What a play from Icy.
I have no words. That was something else. 10 seconds to go. Throws a smoke on objective, throws a flash so Phonic can't do anything, and caps just in the nick of time. Just insane play right there. Unbelievable. That's all I can say.
What that is just absolutely insane. In the history of Onward, I don't remember the last time I've seen a play like that.
Same. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do that before. That was wild.
Wow. You know what? I think I'm gonna play it again. Crazy, and he only had like 3 seconds left on the clock too.
Yeah, it was such a risk because I mean, if he had if he had put in the wrong code even, they probably would have lost that round. That's how close it was. Because I think he was like right around 10 seconds when he started his approach. And I think I remember it was at about 7 seconds, if I remember correctly, that he was in the smoke with tablet out. And we have 2 seconds extra on the caster clock. So that means he had 5 seconds to put that code in. And if he had messed that up, it was over. So that was just such a razor thin play. Again, just unbelievable. They really earned that map win right there.
Absolutely. Coming back from the jaws of defeat, Kai just getting a little bit of the upper hand there on those objectives, bringing it to that 3-2 situation they were in. You know, he could have gone for those kills. You know, that guaranteed kill on the Phonic. He could have brought it to a 3-3. But then it would have been a tough next round for them. Kai playing very, very well on that map. So, I don't know. I can't even be mad, bro. That was so good.
Yep. Error 404 just not giving up and saying, "Hey, we belong up here. We're gonna play with these guys." Even taking a map, regardless of what happens here, means they're gonna, you know, if they lose this, they're not gonna have a gigantic MMR hit, and they should retain pretty good ranking, even if they get 4-0'd on this one.
Speaking of this one, downfall.
Yeah. This is a bit of an uphill battle. I'm a little surprised that they picked Downfall as the last map, just because they have to start on Marsoc, and Marsoc is historically the far more challenging side. So you're handing Volk advantage to the other team on a 1-1. It can pay off. It can work. It's not like it's an automatic loss by any stretch of the imagination, but it is an uphill battle in most cases.
I need to stop thinking about Subway.
Subway's got mono all hot and bothered, ladies and gentlemen.
Downfall. Downfall. Yeah, this is an interesting pick for them. From what we've seen so far, I think they've seen how well Kai has been playing on these kind of closer range maps. A lot of teamwork, a lot of good defensive strategies, and even some really aggressive defensive pushes that's been really working out for him. So by pulling it back to Downfall, they put a little bit more space. They force Kai to play a much more passive game, and maybe Arrow 404 is ready for this. Has some plans thought up, and maybe some long-range action that might give them the upper hand against the likes of Kai. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep. And you have to wonder about the psychological state of both teams. Kai was on the brink of winning that map and therefore winning the match. And within the last 10 seconds, they lost it. Error 404 on the opposite side of the coin thought they were about to lose. And now they've got this gigantic boost going into a very challenging map. You do have to wonder what role that will play in these rounds that we're about to witness.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a lot of spirit going into Downfall. Any misplays cost you your life. and bring any kind of attack to a screeching halt. Honestly, though, I think Downfall's been played quite a bit. More than it usually has, I should clarify. Am I wrong there?
I don't have any stats in front of me, but I will just say my intuition is that you're correct. I have seen a lot of casts with Downfall lately. Whether that's true across the league, hard to tell because only the minority of games get cast, but it seems like a lot of teams are playing Downfall in matches lately.
I just want to point out too that this is a pick by Arrow 404. This is a map that they feel confident challenging Kai in. And I think that's really refreshing to see a new team try and go mano a mano in a map like Downfall. Let's jump right in here. We got to switch out Smithy coming in here for Semper. See what Smithy can do. And a fresh set of eyes can make all the difference. Let's jump over.
I feel like I'm having a heart attack right now. Like I feel pain in my I'm going down in this trench, right? You cross safe. Let's get this done. Yeah, I got you.
I see still coming off the high of that cap. Smithy trying to take some long range shots all the way up towards the Marsoc buildings. Not able to connect, but letting Cobra know that he's got eyes on him. Pretty good defense all in all as well. We can see they got a nice defensive line going out. One player kind of watching back towards objective, and one in the white tower able to respond to any of those aggressive pushes towards the objective. None in the actual objective building itself, though, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, and this spot that Phonic has right now is just brutal, I have to say. Apologies, I just turned on camera 2. So if you look at the spot that Phonic has right now, I mean, if you're coming from the South Valley, you are not going to see that. People play on the helicopter all the time, but that is an excellent spot.
Remember when you used to burn for doing this?
Yeah.
Ha! Ha! Hoo! Oh, old Onward. Let's see what they choose to do. This push from Arrow 404 is quite spread out. They're all over the place. Looks like they're all just trying to go for those picks there. But they got a lot of distance to cover, and actually pretty interesting. Icy gone all the way around and made it to North Hotel, going prone the whole way, it looks like, to get around the sight lines of the defense. Hey, he even said it too. That was right. Maybe get a pick from the North Hotel here. But Kai's doing a really great job of not getting peaky, not getting aggressive, and not exposing themselves to any of these pushy kind of high ground spots from the likes of Area 404. Shots ring out from Cobra. Again, just getting some pre-fire into the windows, but not able to pick anyone up. I think a lot of teams run into this kind of issue where lower ranked teams play Downfall in a completely different way from these teams in the higher leagues. We're gonna have to see who comes out on top here. Phonics spotted out as he tries to pick up Badger. ST with some nice suppressive fire, giving Badger that opportunity to get around the corner without getting taken out.
A little surprised we're seeing 2 going to North Hotel. It's such a precarious place if you get ID'd. Yeah, Engage calling out shots coming from North Hotel.
Engage just can't reach Icy, and Icy is just trying to put fire shots on. But that said, Engage able to get that first pick onto Icy at the North Hotel. Probably not going to expect Void, but you never know. Meanwhile, Phonix continues to hold this helicopter position using the cover of the helicopter itself, blending into the fuselage there, continuing to watch forward. And these players, while they probably know he's on the helicopter, don't know exactly where he is. Really good position that doesn't look like it if you think about it. It's way out in the open, but turns out to work really well. Etch able to pick up Badger as he pushed forward from the lower dumpster area there, picking him in the window, I think. Meanwhile, Cobra making this push down the center of the map. Nobody really watching his way, so he should be able to get a pretty good push if he doesn't run into the line of Smithy. But 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock. Error 404 is going to have to do something wild here to win against this 5-man Kai defense. Looks like they had a drop as well.
A minute left with 2 on your offensive side and 5 defenders facing off against you. That's a pretty rough situation on Downfall. Unlike the other maps we've been seeing, 1 minute left is
Forever.
yeah,
Just
a cause
kidding.
for concern. Yeah, the exact opposite. It's
The exact
blink of an eye.
It feels like forever, but it really isn't. Neither of these players is willing to kind of make this push, and you can see why. I mean, It's Not Void is going to have to run down a sheer cliff face. One smoke probably not going to do it. Cobra making a push across the center here. It's Not Void, I think, shortly about to get picked up here. He does. Cobra now pushing across here. Was hoping for the Hail Mary cap play. But if he doesn't look out for Bass, he will get taken out. And just like that, Kai picks up the first round. You saw a lot of that enveloping play from 404, trying to get those picks, but Kai just not giving it to him. And you could just see without any of those picks, they weren't really willing to push up, move across those really open grounds where they themselves just got picked off one by one. And that's the problem with Downfall. You got to make, you know, a couple of kills to open up those gaps, give you that opportunity to get to cover and your own spots to cover your own pushes. You know, staging grounds like the lower dumpsters, helicopter, you know, area. If you're trying to go down the center, go for that cap. But Kai doing really well for themselves, able to defend that objective and hold tight.
And this is, I would argue, Downfall is a map that favors experienced teams much more than maybe any other map because it's changed so little and it's so punishing if you don't play it correctly. And
I have to agree with you there. Yeah.
There's a couple of minor tweaks here and there, a couple of different objectives, but by and large, the most experienced teams in this league have been playing this map literally for years, and they have been able to refine it, and it's just unforgiving. If you cross at the wrong moment, if you don't coordinate well, if your envelopment's weak, your attack falls apart. It's one of those maps where you just cannot afford to lose people on attack. And if you do, you need to know how to adjust to that. And I think rookie teams just, in many cases, haven't had the time and the experience to figure that out. All that being said, Error 404 can certainly win this. They've proven already that they can hang with the best, but it's always a challenge for newer teams, in my opinion, to play this map against more experienced ones.
I have to agree with you there. I'm excited to see some of the plays that Error 404 have come up with, though. We already saw some innovative spots and plays from them on Subway. Definitely some opportunities here in Downfall. But you better have done your homework. Otherwise, you're going to get shot on those crosses. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's historically, when you play on Downfall, the defense Volk has quite the advantage. Excellent cover. able to cover their angles while not having to peek out in the open and get shot from those players just looking for the picks. And the Marsoc players having to challenge them while in the open with very little to no cover themselves. So Arrow 404 definitely has a chance here, but will have to win a Marsoc round in order to take this map and win this series.
Indeed. It's not uncommon to see trades for Volk rounds, and the tiebreaker tends to be a Marsoc round. Coming back from a defeat when the other team was on Marsoc is so challenging on this map. And already we're seeing Icy running to the middle of the map.
I think he got identified by Bass though, and that's a very, very key piece of information for any attacking team. Getting any defenders in the center bungalows, very, very dangerous though. Icy will have an opportunity to reap some benefits as Kai is forced to push forward and go into his sight lines. That said, Icy looks like he's going for some kind of rotation. Smoke's coming all around the building here. I gotta wonder what is... Oh, he's trying to go to the other side. Using that smoke, running in, but barely missing the doorway, and that'll cost him his life.
That was close. That almost worked.
I think he dropped the smoke and it was like, oh. And couldn't get into the doorway in time just coming out of that smoke.
A little surprised he even ran out of that, though, only because just knowing someone's there will slow down an offense, and on this map, you need all the time you can get.
Yeah, I think that was pivotal. They needed that for their defense, and now they're going to have to pull double duty. It's certainly on the way to continue pushing forward here, getting those picks. Very, very important for any downfall round. Opens up so many opportunities for Marsoc as they learn where the defensive positions are, and knowing that those rotations are very unlikely from the defenders, as they themselves would have to cross very open lines, can piece together what they could see and then use that against them to form a plan. Maybe in this case, move up West Road, come up behind the objective and go through the back. Definitely a lot of cheeky opportunities for Marsoc. Those in the building caps definitely have happened many of time before.
Okay, alright. Don't worry about it then.
It looks to me like where Error 404 is trying really hard to prevent a cap. It's not Void just now peeking out from that window, but previously he was just sitting in that cap spot on the south side.
Yeah, now he knows that the attack isn't going to be a blitz style attack. He knows that he's going to have to support his team here. Bonic trying to cross through this gap, able to do so. The smoke barely covering him. Etch coming across here, putting some suppressive fire on all these windows. Something you'll often see in downfall is you can't really see in the windows very well. And just hoping to at least maybe get that lucky headshot, or at least suppress the defenders that may or may not be there. Meanwhile, we see Smithy and Bass both taking up positions in the North Hotel. Pretty interesting to see these attackers favor the North Hotel so heavily. They are now in a tough position for any kind of rotation, and that said, though, if they are able to take out Cobra, they do have a wonderful line to push down towards the objective. Meanwhile, Phonix, continuing his push here, made it over to the center hotel and will now be able to challenge Badger in the center hotel. Badger definitely aware that Etch is just right around the corner here. Etch looking high when Badger's low, able to get that pickup. Now Phonix is going to have to do his best to get this refrag. Not quite sure of where his position is, or maybe he's just not going to worry about it. Instead, go for supporting his team's push. Smithy getting a key pickup onto Cobra, allowing Bass to continue his push down the hill here. ST, though, Might be able to just get a shot on him from the back there, and there he does. He gets that pickup, forcing Bass to continue down the hill alone. Now it's just up to engage Phonic and Bass to bring this one back. And that said, Engage is close to the objective building. He's going for the cap. He's going in through the backside. He's going to have his gun up, or he's just going to get taken out by It's Not Void. They even have C4 up here too. They really don't want to get capped on.
Nope. And now it's all up to Base Slappa and Phonic. Oh, and with that, there's a trade. So now it's just Phonic on offense.
What a well-executed defense from Arrow 404.
Yeah, that was a nice kill box. They did a very good job protecting the cap. Yeah, maybe if there had been a trade or something on Engage's part, maybe opened up the backside a little bit, but still, Arrow 404 did a very good job of being disciplined and just watching their angles that whole time.
Oops. Hold on, guys. I gotta fix these here scores. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I was just so excited about that round that I didn't even think about taking up the score on the scoreboard. Do you have any predictions about this round, Theta?
Let's see. Helicopter bungalow. I don't know. At this point, I feel like I'm just going to make a silly, uneducated guess because I've been so surprised so far.
Kind of what I'm going for, though.
Okay. I'm just going to go the easy route here and say Kai, just because, again, they have the Volk advantage. And both teams showing that they're playing very strong defense so far.
Boring. I think Arrow 404 is gonna do the most aggressive push. They're gonna have some pre-fire. They're gonna have the suppression going. They're gonna get these smokes going. Oh, just kidding. It's gonna be a round reset.
Okay. Knife fight? Knife fight?
Knife fight?
Nope. No knife fight. Disappointing.
You sound really
Okay.
disappointed.
I am.
The team's not
That's one of my
killing each other.
one of my favorite parts of casting is casting the knife fights that happen during resets, but I get so disappointed. I think Dazzler was the only one who really went for it there. I mean, yeah, he had the one shot, which is a little disappointing, but he still went for the knife fight for everybody else. Someday. Someday my dream is that everybody will know to knife fight when there's a reset.
We'll just have to wait and see if your trend catches on, Theta. I don't know, though. I don't know if everyone has the same homicidal rage that you do. It's a deep-seated anger against your team. Like, what did they ever do to you? What did we do to you, Theta?
Well, one of them caps way too slowly, which just fills me with rage.
I
every time
wish
think
James
about
did cap faster.
Yeah, obviously it was James. Obviously.
It was James. James? I will give him credit, though. He got a couple good caps. But that doesn't make up for all the missed caps, the slow caps. Nothing like our good friend Mono does. Always gets the caps when he means to. When he wants.
Naturally.
Yeah. This is actually one of those new objectives. It doesn't look like it. There's actually an objective on the other side of this helicopter bungalow, as we like to call it. But this one is different. You can cap from the inside. You just have to come in on this other, this other side, and you can cap through the wall. You can also come around the outside, and there's a little bit more cover around this corner, for example. It does play a little differently, but the defensive strategies tend to be fairly similar. Maybe a little bit more focus on that front side. But we have seen some really crazy cap attempts and caps from teams that are willing to put everything on the line to go for those heavy caps through the use of smokes, through the use of that suppressive fire, just through distraction from players pushing on the outside of the map and using that chaotic sound cover, and just everyone having to look different way from all the attackers coming in to push in on the objective and get that cap off. And we know how powerful caps can be on downfall.
For sure. A cap on downfall it's not a surefire route to defeat, but boy, is it hard to come back from that.
They sure can be your downfall.
It's here all night, folks. I have not received... Oh, hold on. I have a message here. Okay, timeout from Error 404, so I think we should dip into an intermission.
Let's do that. We'll be right back, guys. Stick around. We'll be back with the action.
Okay, well, there were some battery pack issues on the side of Error 404, but we're back now. And Mono is fixing the scoreboard.
Gonna be all
Because
good,
we're-
guys. We're gonna live.
See what I have to deal with here, guys? Do you see what I have to deal with here?
These
Not easy
co-casters,
being a
man.
co-caster with this guy.
There we go. There we go. This should shape up to be an interesting end to the series here. For anyone joining us, we have Arrow 404 and Kai both tied up 1-1 on the score for the maps here. Very, very spicy subway as well. I do say, I can say that with confidence. Even it was definitely going to be the highlight for me. I hope it was fun and interesting for you guys as well. But this last couple rounds that we got between these two teams are going to be the ending for this one. It's going to choose who wins this series and who loses and has to go home with a loss. Both of these teams are going to have to play their very best, and especially on Downfall, you got to play really, really well. You got to play to your strategies. You have to work together. There's no room for error, and there's not really much room for individual when you have one player that just happens to carry your team, win from a 1v3 or 1v4, there's not much of that going around in Downfall. It kind of lives and dies on the back of the whole team together, which is a very interesting thing about Downfall. I think it's one of the most unique things about it. Even I can't think of another map that is quite as stark in that line as Downfall is.
Indeed. And we have another substitution with Dyslexic Dazzler coming in for Engage. I believe that's what it is, because I don't see Engage's name on there anymore.
I think you're right.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure we're getting started. I got a message from Error 404 saying that their battery packs were resolved and they're ready. So just waiting for the start at this point.
Are you telling me Arrow 404 are actually robots?
Their name would make a lot more sense if that were the case.
I think we figured it out. I think we figured it out, chat. This is like the next machine learning. Those computers that play StarCraft. And they just sit there doing thousands and thousands and thousands of games a day, an hour even, or whatever they do. Yeah, and they just figure out the best strategies. Their reflexes go beyond the charts of what a human can do, and maybe they're more like cyborgs, though. I don't know.
I just received another message saying that there are still technical difficulties to be handled and they need another 5 minutes, so probably a good idea to go into another intermission so you guys don't have to listen to us droning on anymore.
All right, let's jump there and we'll be back soon. Sorry, guys. right, welcome back, guys. We're jumping into round 3 here between Aero 404 and Kai. Smoke's coming out from Kai already, trying to get that cross, maybe into the dark room on the other side of the helicopter 2 story. We're gonna have to see what they do. Shots already coming out from the likes of Smithy. Dazzler also ready to get any kind of shots onto their team. Maybe just kind of creating some cover fire, giving Bass and Phonic that push ability to go into the helicopter 2 story. I think maybe it was just some bad smokes from them, as they both just wanted to go into the first story of this building. And you can see here on the defensive layout, we got pretty typical stuff. A couple actually interesting positions in Dazzler's West Road bungalow, looking out towards the hill, and it actually might pay off for him as ST Cup and Badger Zom start to crest the hill here.
Yeah, Cobra also running up the middle. He is currently at South Bungalow.
Dazzler picking
picks
up ST Cup. Definitely didn't expect that, I don't think. I think Cobra really likes these center pushes. You've seen that from him in earlier rounds, trying to get those picks, trying to go down this line that no one really expects you to go. I mean, how often do you see people go down the center except when they're desperate and having to make a lot of movement, get across the map very quickly?
And Etch watching a line that Icy just ran under. But the way that they're layering this defense, I think the idea is that they're going to let Phonic take care of anybody who gets around in the north, because he is facing out from inside the helicopter 2 story. That little window.
You know, we'll have to see how that one pans out. We got a little bit more time for Icy to continue his push, going nice and slow. But that said, stands up, gets into position, gets into the White House. Maybe he will be able to get a pick from the second story here. Something that I think they've been banking on, but hasn't been working out for him. Only possible pick he can, looks like he'll be able to get possibly Smithy, possibly Etch. Let's just jump over and see what Smithy's doing here. Sitting in the first story, just looking this really tight angle. Super hard to find and pick in the darkness. Something that Volk has over Marsoc for sure on this map, hiding in those little dark crannies of the buildings. You wouldn't think it, but that's where you really, really want that cover.
You can see on the map, they are spreading out across the map. Just trying to get all around the objective. Icy already pretty close to the objective on the sniper tower. But Kai playing very disciplined defense, not showing their hand at all. Just watching as close on their angles as they can.
Yeah, definitely some time here going past. They're going to have to make a move. You can see Cobra here starting to plan his attack route here. Gonna have to deal with the likes of Etch. But because this defense is so tight, they're all just watching these really small angles here. You know, he should be able to get quite a distance afield and get closer to the objective. That said, Icy is pushing up onto the helicopter 2 story. We'll run into the Phonics here sitting in the back of this room. Got the super tight angle. Icy definitely, ooh, just able to get upstairs through the use of a smoke. He will know that the enemies are below him, getting into a nice defensive position. Shots ringing out from Cobra, just shooting towards the center hotel, trying to catch anybody that comes through the third story there, trying to bait anybody to look. Cobra now providing some support. Bats getting a little aggressive, pushing out towards objective. Cobra able to get that pickup. Now Phonics is all alone. Smithy also rotating. Icy picking up Etch. Badger getting Smithy, and just like that, Kai's defense is crumbling under this attack. Icy,
Oh
not
no!
even. Oh,
Icy,
he's Icy
Icy's
going
on the
towards
objective.
the objective. He is now in the objective room. Phonics missing that movement. He is now capping. Dazzler just misses him as he comes around the back. Error picking up 2 points, giving them the lead on Downfall.
Wow.
Might have grabbed that one too late, but let's see that one back again.
And I have to say, it looks like they really did their homework on the Kai defense. Icy approached that position very, very cautiously, and then he put a smoke exactly where he needed to block the vision from that lower story. And that is all it took to give him access to the east side of the objective. And by then, there's just very little Kai could do to stop him. You really have to control that east side of the objective if you want to not get capped on like that.
Yeah, they did a really excellent job providing that cover, creating that kind of question in their minds. Did someone get past me? Did they use this smoke, use that sound cover, use that visual cover to get towards the objective? And we saw Smithy, we saw Dazzler, and we saw Bass all trying to check the objective. They were so worried about it, giving Arrow 404 that opportunity to get those picks and create that opening for Icy to go in for his second cap of this series.
Now they are walking into a huge advantage. It is potentially match point. They are playing defense, and this is a very defendable objective. We just saw there are obviously vulnerabilities to this objective, but they play it smart and tight. They can walk away with a victory here. And likewise, if Kai can expose a similar vulnerability in cap, we'll be tied up.
We'll just have to see how these teams play it. If Kai goes for that cap, it's just so risky, but the reward is so high. There's a lot of energy on Arrow 404, folks. A lot of energy. I thought you were done. I thought you were done. Anyways, moving on, we can see them pushing into their defensive areas. A lot of spirit from them, but at the same time playing to win. Something we always like to see. Meanwhile, Kai reeling from that cap, gonna put their best effort to bring this back. A lot on the line. We'll have to see how they play this out. Etch sitting here on Marsoc Rocks trying to get a pick. He actually has an opportunity to possibly catch Badger if he continues to peek through that door opening there. Pretty hard to see, but Etch, we know, has a really some good vision. We've seen some long picks from him in the past, so we'll have to see who comes out on top here. They actually have Icy in the second story as well, trying to get a pick on the likes of Etch. Etch doesn't know it, but he's in the danger zone.
North bungalow. I don't. From that spawn, they can't make it to North bungalow. We had eyes.
Badger able to pick up Dazzler in the pass. Etch will be aware that Center Hotel is hot, filled with at least one enemy, but will they know about the second player there? Who knows? Suppressive fire coming from Etch, giving Bass the opportunity to push forward here. Maybe catch Icy if he peeks out from the second story again. Shots ringing out from Smithy. Again, the North Hotel, a pivotal spot for both of these teams on their offense. Trying to go up here, get some picks from there. Bass picking up Icy. Now Phonic pushing forward aggressively. Now getting fairly close. Gonna have to deal with the likes of Cobra in the second story, but in a good position to move towards objective if he so desires.
Yeah, interesting that they are placing STF Cup directly in the objective room. I think their number one priority, no matter what, is not to get capped on, which makes sense. So they can afford to lose a round, but they cannot afford a cap right now.
Oh, Cobra moving up, able to pick Phonics as he moved forward. That sneaking play not going to work out for him this time. Excellent reflexes from him, and just sense that someone might be sneaking up on him. The pressure is definitely on. Kai able to get one pickup, but still down 3 to 4. And a lot of no man's land to cover here. Smithy especially in a tough position at the North Hotel. Going to be tough for him to push away from this objective and go down towards the kind of west side without getting spotted as he's out in the no man's land. Cobra picking up Smithy as he tried to make that push. Will be in a good position to make callouts, and as I say that, Cobra gets the confirm, closing that off. Though Bass trying to thread the needle, as it were, move towards that objective and maybe try and go for a cap, just like Arrow 404 ended up doing. But he's got a lot of opposition to deal with. Boyd looks like he might be rotating here and there to try and get some shots towards the center. Cover that up. Badgers watching from the second story hotel. Very common spot. An SD cup on the objective itself. The last line of defense, making sure no one runs in there and gets that easy cap. Worked out for them well last time. Will it work out again, though? We'll just have to see.
There's a real kill box around that east side.
Badger able to get that pickup on the Bass. There's just too many angles for Bass to deal with all alone. Now it's just up to Etch with 1:35 on the clock here. This game could be over. And just like that, Etch trying to trade with Cobra. Not able to run anymore, just having to make as much movement as he can. Cobra picking up Etch, and Arrow 404 will pick the series.
Well, if anybody had any doubts about whether Arrow 404 should be within the top 10, I think that should silence them. They are for sure worthy of a spot at that tier.
They definitely played very well. I love the spicy plays we saw. I love the kind of audacity we saw from some of those cap attempts. They knew what they were going for. They knew that it was pivotal to their attack plan. They had less players, but they still made that cap work. We saw a lot of 1v1s, 1v2s. We saw some excellent clutches from both of these teams. Excellent teamwork. It was just a really exciting series all in all. I really love seeing all of it. I wish I could show you guys the replay because there were so many memorable moments. I think both of these teams are going to be remembering this game, win or lose, and just how it was, you know, how a game of Onward can be so exciting to play. Yeah. I mean, I know I would be. You can't be mad at that cap, man. You can't be mad. That was just... It was awesome, okay? On Subway. Definitely going to be seeing that clip making the rounds through the League General, I think.
No kidding. That is a career highlight moment for sure. They were right about to lose the whole match. With less than 10 seconds to go, runs in, smashes the code in. Just unbelievable. Such an intelligent play on his part. Such an audacious play. Audacious play on his part. So again, congratulations to Arrow 404. Well played to both teams.
Absolutely. This has been Arrow 404 versus Kai, brought to you by myself and Theta. We'd like to thank the VR Master League for providing this format, but to the teams, our moderators, the sponsors, and especially to you guys for sticking around and watching this game. Thanks for tuning in and spending your time with us tonight. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. See you guys later.